Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to show number 98 by the Hippie Pastor. That would be me. Oh, friends, I was just thinking before I was praying, and the Lord showed me that when Jesus was hanging on the cross, he was, after being savagely tortured by Italian soldiers who were paid by Jewish rabbis, in such a cruel way, dying and with pain that we could never imagine. People said when he was there on the cross, and they were scoffing and making fun of him, and and somebody said he saved others. Come down from the cross. They were like scoffing and making fun of him. Come down from the cross if you're the Son of God. Let's see, do us a magic trick. But then it was said of him that he saved others, but himself he could not save. He wasn't able to save himself. He was only able to save others. And when it was his time, only God, whatever. I ain't going to say another word about it. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get too emotional here, I got to talk about a subject that's bothering me. Is this thing about the homosexual gay people, especially homosexual men. I got no problem with homosexual women. I think that's kind of sexy, if you ask me. Yeah, I know, I'm a dirty old man. Call me a pervert if you want. But hey, I stick to legal age, all right? Want to slap? And so anyway, what I was going to say was that, a lot of times you hear about gay people, they complain about gay men being beat up. And it's a sad thing. And of course, when it's done just for, I'm guilty. When I was a young teenager, we used to go around beating up gay men. Yeah, for sport. Because in those days, they were just an insult to us. But now that the world has changed and we are learning to accept other people or whatever, as long as they respect us, that we're not gay. So I think that many times when you hear about a gay man, or being beat up or aggressively, violently abused, sometimes, it's wrong. It's because of racism and homophobicism. But other times, I'll be honest with you, man. I'm an old man. I've been around the block, and a lot of times it's gay homosexual men that are aggressively accosting, persecuting, harassing sexually a heterosexual man. They're insisting themselves upon him without respecting him, that he's trying to tell them he's not gay, he's homosexual, but they're persistently, trying to pick him up or come on to him. And if he gives him a good bloody nose and a good punch in the nose, I will applaud for him. Because any sex abuser, whether they be a gay man or a heterosexual man sexually abusing a woman, any kind of abuse, imposing your sex on others is wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue with show 98 because the time is of the essence. That's what my mom used to say. Okay, I'm going to start with a quote. Let's see who can guess this marvelous author. I've had great success being a total idiot. No, you guessed wrong. It wasn't me. I've had great success being a total idiot. You guessed it. The great and fabulous, charismatic and good-hearted man, American Jew, by the way. I love you. Jerry Lewis said that. He had great success being a total idiot. That's wonderful. God bless Jerry. He made a lot of people laugh, and he was part of my childhood. Those days, I don't know, TV was different, and I think it was more wholesome, or educational. Anyway, we go on straight up with the words of Jesus now, as you all know. If I'm not mistaken, we're in Matthew chapter 10. Here goes verse 14. Jesus speaking. And whoever shall not receive you, nor hear your words, when ye depart out of that house or city, shake off the dust of your feet. Whoa, so, people don't like it, they don't receive you because, they know you're a child of God. Shake off the dust of your feet, man. Just, Get out of there. Jesus continues, verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. Whoa, now that we're on the gay issue, look at that. People say, Jesus had very few things to say about gay people, and none of them were negative. None of them were negative. Not at all. The guy who was negative on gay and homosexuals was the Apostle Paul, who was a gay in the closet, and the Apostle Peter, another flake. They had their moments. Yeah, they had their moments of inspirations. They might have added some beautiful writings to the Bible, but a lot of the stuff they said was flaky, man, flaky. About that, and they really condemned, sinners and hookers and gays and, to hellfire, and they're really into condemning people to hellfire, the Apostle Paul. He contradicted Jesus on a lot of issues, like saying, in 1 Corinthians, I think it's 6:10, Paul said, no thief shall enter into the kingdom of heaven. Yet there we have Jesus on the cross telling a thief, tomorrow you shall be with me in paradise. So there's your contradictions. I got like 20 of them. I'll talk about them later. But here Jesus is saying that it's going to be more tolerable in the land of Sodom. So who's the Sodom? Well, the land of Sodom. The Sodomites, man. Sodomites. The land of gays. They were gay townships. Okay? And he says they're going to be more tolerable, more tolerance for them than for the religious hypocrites that rejected him. There you have it. Thank you. The rooster is crowing. The rooster crows when he sees the light. I have seen the light. So I'm talking my head off. Jesus continues. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. So Jesus didn't want us to be el estupido or el tonto. No, Jesus wanted us to be wise like serpents. The serpent is the wisest of all the animals. It's slick. And God doesn't want us to be no el estupido. He wants to be slick like a snake, like a serpent. But at the same time, harmless as doves. So, be nice to the nice people, be good to the good people, and be bad to the bad people. Don't give them the time of day, because there's a lot of wolves out there, man. So, he said to be slick, to be wise like serpents, not to be a dummy. Jesus continues, but beware of men. Look at that. Beware of men, so don't trust, don't trust people. But beware of them. Beware of men, for they will deliver you. A lot of traitors out there, a lot of rats, a lot of tattletales nowadays. They glorify tattletaling now. They teach our kids to be a tattletale in school. When once upon a time, that wasn't a virtue. It was not a virtue to be a tattletale. Now it is. Just to show you what's good, how the world is becoming more anti-love. Be therefore, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves, blah, blah, blah. But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. Wow, so they're going to punish you in the synagogues, in the so-called house of God. That's why I say, God doesn't need a house. He said it himself. He said, I don't need a house. Heaven is my throne, and the earth is my footstool. What house shall ye build me, saith the Lord? Or where is the place of my rest? Hath not my hands made all these things? God doesn't need a house. And one thing, out of bad things, sometimes good things can come. Like the coronavirus, I'm thinking, they were worried about church, and the President Trump is wanting to open up churches. That's all nice and dandy. But if I had a church building, you know what I would do? I would take it all down, take all that wood down, take it all down, and just leave the benches, and then separate them some, and have in the air, in the free air, have your church service. No more enclosed places. And so, God doesn't need a house. So, build yourself a house, but leave God alone. Anyway, and ye shall be brought before governors, that's Jesus speaking, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, and for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Father which speaketh in you. In case you haven't noticed, we're here with the King James Version. We don't go for them modern, watered down, lukewarm versions they make it now. We go for the old, we're old school. and poetic. There's nothing more poetic and beautiful in the King James versions, like it's Shakespearean and stuff. You know, oh, I can't understand it. I will learn to understand it. I'll slap you, culture yourself. There's no agriculture in this country. So Jesus says, it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh in you. So allow God the Father and His wife, Goddess the Mother, and their Son Jesus. I believe in Jesus. I met Him personally. Yeah. He told me to tell you to say hello. I mean, I got proof that Jesus exists. Not existed. Exist as a living creature, form, spirit life, which is more real than this shit we got now. So in other words, let God speak in you. Let God fill your thoughts, even beautiful thoughts. I mean, you can be a sinner like us, even if you have a little some wine, and inspire you. Smoke a little pipe. Go out on the porch. Have a beer. God is with you, and sometimes that'll inspire you. I mean, it doesn't matter what goes in the mouth. What matters is what's in your heart. The level of inspiration and beauty and art and positiveness, and really try to get away from negative thinking. Like try forgiving, even if if the person's not worthy, just forgive them, but stay away from them. But try forgiveness. Try feeling good. Another thing. Get up every morning and thanking God. Make a list. Say, hey, thank God I got 2 legs. Thank God I got sex organs. Thank God I got 2 arms. Thank God I got my nose. Even if it's broken. There's so much. Thank God I got food. There's so much to thank and love also. If you think you need love, and we're made in the image of God, then God must need love also, and must get lonely also, and must get depressed also. So there's nothing wrong with once in a while looking at God and trying to lift Him up. Old people, I can't take it. Try to lift God up. Try to cheer His day. Ask Him how He's doing. Send Him some love. Send some love His way. He needs it. Really does. Ladies and gents, we're finished with the show for now. I love you all. Stay clear of the coronavirus so we can survive this and live to tell the story. And may God bless you all. Live the fullest of your talent and project and contribute to change the world with love. I love you. Thanks.